rookie season, Caitlin Clark, in her first eligible year, wins an ESPY award for WNBA Player of the Year. This comes as no surprise.
And the winner is Caitlin Clark, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
I'm going to accept this award on behalf of her.
It's a nice accessory for you in the meantime.
Thank you very much. She's obviously not here right now.
The WNBA dynasty is crumbling, and it all began with a single award. Aja Wilson, the three-time MVP and undisputed queen of the league, was forced to watch as her successor was crowned right before her eyes. This wasn't a quiet passing of the torch. It was a public dethroning that triggered a catastrophic collapse. The fallout has exposed a story of bitter frustration, a team in chaos, and the brutal reality of what happens when a new ruler arrives to claim the throne.
Oh, what a wonderful day it is to wake up. And Caitlin Clark is the WNBA Player of the Year, awarded by the ESPYs. You know why? Because the god Caitlin Clark is the face of the league. Ladies and gentlemen, not no weak-ass BET award where the BET Awards ain't held no weight for over 10 years. A real award, awarded by the ESPYs.
It was the award that made the power shift official. The ESPYs have long been a measure of cultural relevance, and when Caitlin Clark was named the best WNBA player, it sent a shockwave through the sport. She didn't just win, she beat a list of titans, including the reigning empress herself, Aja Wilson, who had won the award the previous 2 years. In that moment, the trophy became a symbol. This wasn't just a win for Clark, it was a formal declaration that Wilson's era of dominance was over, and the balance of power in the WNBA had been permanently altered.
Caitlin Clark has officially won the ESPY for Best WNBA Player. The WNBA Player of the Year goes to Caitlin Clark. Congrats to CC for winning the ESPY. Well deserved. Would you guys like to know who she beat out? Would you guys like to know who lost to Caitlin Clark? This ain't no BET. All right. My bad. You know how y'all get. I can't even say no jokey jokes, man. Dang. Caitlin Clark officially won the ESPY versus the other nominees. She beat out Aja Wilson, Brianna Stewart, and Nafisa Cawley.
While Clark was ascending, Wilson's kingdom was turning to dust. The Las Vegas Aces, once the most feared team in the league and back-to-back champions, had become a shadow of their former selves. Their record hovered around a painfully mediocre 500, a stunning fall from grace for a team that once seemed unbeatable. The statistics painted a grim picture of a full-blown organizational collapse. They were 9th in the league in points per game, 9th in defensive rating, and 10th in rebounds. For a team that once set offensive records, they were now second to last in assists and dead last in fast break points. The powerhouse that dominated both ends of the floor had transformed into a team struggling just to stay relevant.
Than the first 5 years that the WNBA has been alive, nobody has brought more attention to this league than Caitlin Clark. Nobody has brought more viewership to this league than Caitlin Clark. Nobody has done such a service bringing them out of the basement and into the mainstream other than Caitlin Clark. Yeah, there have been names that have come and gone. There have been names. Diana Taurasi, she was a name. Candace Parker, she was a name. Maya Moore, she was a name. But they were just all big names in the WNBA. They didn't transcend the sport. They didn't, oh my goodness, we got to sit down and watch. No. Great players, but not Caitlin Clark. Great players.
The nominees were Nafisa, Aja Wilson, and Brianna Stewart. You know what's ironic about this? Is that the players ranked her 9th best guard in the W. But whoever is voting on the nominees for the ESPYs says that she's a better player overall. I think we all know there's one player in that group of nominees that's not too happy about this shit. But congratulations to Miss Caitlin Clark, man. She deserved this shit.
At the center of this crumbling empire stood Aja Wilson, a queen ruling over a hollow domain. Her individual numbers still sparkled, averaging over 22 points and 9 rebounds a game. But these were empty stats, numbers put up in losing efforts on a team that had forgotten how to win. The frustration was visible to everyone. After a particularly humiliating loss to an Indiana Fever team playing without Caitlin Clark, Aces coach Becky Hammon delivered one of the most brutal assessments imaginable. final. She called it one of the worst games I have ever seen and a complete lack of professionalism. Her words weren't just about one bad night. They were an indictment of a team that had lost its championship edge, its fight, and its identity.
3 quarters of trash. The offense was trash. The defense was trash. There has to be some fight back. If they're going to allow that kind of physicality, my team has to step up and match that physicality, period. One team is physical and one team is not. One team is 3 steps behind and one team is not. They got all the 50-50 ball. I mean, they busted our ass in every kind of way, Michael. There's just no two bones about it. It's one of the worst games I've ever seen.
All great players, all deserving, awesome players, some of the best in the world. I actually think that those 4 are the best 4 players in the world. So definitely great competition with the nominees. We got to talk about it, man. Caitlin Clark, she came in and has been spectacular, especially that rookie season. She came in and was first team all WNBA, first team. Absolutely sick. All-star, broke pretty much any record you could have as a rookie. She shattered it. You know, over 60 some records. What was the slogan? Is there a record for records? That is Caitlin Clark.
The contrast couldn't have been more stark. While the Aces were imploding, the Indiana Fever were being reborn. For 8 consecutive years, the Fever had been irrelevant, a franchise lost in the wilderness. Then, Caitlin Clark arrived, and everything changed. Her impact went far beyond her own elite statistics. She was a force multiplier, a generational talent whose court vision and basketball IQ elevated every single player around her. The proof was in the results. The Fever, once a league doormat, reached the Commissioner's Cup championship for the first time in franchise history and won it all. They had become a legitimate playoff contender, a team with swagger and hope, all because of one player.
Goofy clown, oh, she ain't the face of the league. She ain't this, she ain't that. Her second year in the WNBA, man. Running the league. WNBA player of the year, goofies. What y'all gotta say? What excuses y'all want to write in the comments? Y'all want to talk about her shooting slump or how Kelsey and Aaliyah Boston are the better players on the team, or because she's white, or what you gonna talk about? Black people are coons that support her. What bullshit y'all want to talk about? Because you ain't taking this award away from the god Caitlin Clark, goof.
Syria is for ESPY, but the girl been carrying the league on her back and doing it while she's wounded. No, but as we know, people are going to say she didn't deserve it. Just like people said, you know, Angel didn't deserve her award, or Angel didn't deserve to be on the cover of 2K26. And my message to y'all, don't hate the player.
But Clark's influence wasn't just being felt on the court, it was a cultural tsunami that was reshaping the entire sport. Her games became must-see television, drawing national audiences and selling out arenas across the country. Her jersey became the highest selling in the league, dwarfing the sales of established stars like Wilson. The most telling moment of this cultural takeover, however, was the Olympic team controversy. Despite her undeniable talent and massive popularity, Clark was snubbed from the Team USA roster. It was a move by the establishment to protect its veterans, but it backfired spectacularly. The public outcry was deafening. It revealed a massive disconnect. While the old guard was trying to gatekeep, the fans had already decided who they wanted to see.
And this award is for the people who moves the needle for their team, who's the most dynamic individual for their team to get their team over the hump. And clearly, only one name only stood out to me. It's clear as day. Caitlin Clark, aka my precious CC. You can be a goofy all you want to and keep going against the grain like we all can't see. You hear me? Whether you wear glasses or not. The eye test tells everything, and numbers don't lie.
As the world embraced a new star, insiders began to ask what had gone so wrong in Las Vegas. The answer, in part, lay in a single disastrous decision. In the offseason, the Aces made a shocking trade, sending longtime guard and fan favorite Kelsey Plum to the Los Angeles Sparks in exchange for Jewel Lloyd. On paper, it was a swap of star power. In reality, it was a move that ripped the heart out of their championship chemistry. Lloyd struggled to fit in, averaging career low numbers, while the team's synergy vanished. The trade exposed the Aces' lack of depth and dismantled the system that had made them champions, leaving Wilson to shoulder an even greater burden on a team that was now fundamentally broken.
I am absolutely a Caitlin Clark fan. She is an amazing point guard. What she has done for the WNBA, that sometimes when I think about it, I'm just like, that was her calling. Like, she was supposed to shine that light. The WNBA has been doing what it's been doing, but that mission was given to her to shine that light. And I respect her for that. I cannot take that away from her. I love her style of basketball. Her pass, she's literally a Tom Brady.
This storm of failure and fading relevance began to take a visible psychological toll on Aja Wilson. For the first time in her professional career, she had to confront the reality of being second best. This is a brutal adjustment for any elite athlete, but for someone who had built her identity around being the undisputed queen, it was devastating. Her emotional outbursts on the court became more frequent, clashing with officials, getting into heated exchanges with teammates, and showing visible frustration. These weren't the actions of a confident champion. They were the reactions of someone struggling to accept that her influence was waning. The competitive fire that had once fueled her championships now seemed to be consuming her.
But at the end of the day, CeCe makes her team better, and without CeCe, they don't look so good. If you watch the game or been watching the games before she got hurt, that'll tell you all that you need to know. And understand, CeCe, a lot of us love you and appreciate what you do for the game.
Perhaps nothing illustrated Wilson's fall from grace more clearly than the MVP race. For a three-time winner, being in the conversation was a given. But this year, she wasn't just out of the running, she was an afterthought. The overwhelming favorite became Napheesa Collier of the Minnesota Lynx, a player whose odds skyrocketed as she led her team to the top of the standings. Betting markets placed Wilson at a staggering 8,000, odds that were more of an insult than a possibility. Even more telling, Caitlin Clark, despite missing time with an injury, consistently held better odds than Wilson. The message was clear. Clark's perceived impact was valued more than Wilson's all-star numbers on a failing team.
Bro, what the fuck? Most career games with 25 points and at least 10 assists in WNBA history. She's played 42 games. She's 2 games in her sophomore season. This is insane, bro. And I think it was another stat, 20 and 10 games, that she's already with just 20 and 10 games, she's already fucking...
The changing of the guard wasn't just happening in award races, it was being engineered by the league itself. Professional sports are a business, and the WNBA's business was now the Caitlin Clark business. The league's marketing strategy pivoted with ruthless efficiency. Suddenly, the Indiana Fever were getting primetime television slots, while the two-time defending champion Aces were relegated to less desirable broadcasts. A social media post about Clark would generate millions of interactions, while a highlight from Wilson might get a fraction of that engagement. Promotional materials that once featured Wilson as the central figure now pushed her to the side. It was a calculated corporate decision that solidified the power shift. Wilson was no longer the present, she was being framed as the league's decorated past.
There's actually no reason to give this to Aja Wilson. There is no reason.
While the league was busy crowning a new star, the two players at the center of this storm had to find a way to coexist. The most fascinating moment came during the All-Star game, when Wilson, as a team captain, selected Clark for her squad. On the surface, it was a sign of professional respect, but underneath, the tension was palpable. Was it a genuine acknowledgement of talent, or a strategic move to keep a rival close? Every on-court interaction between them is now scrutinized. A hard foul, a brief exchange of words, or a pointed lack of acknowledgement. They are two supreme competitors locked in a power struggle, and this uneasy alliance is the human drama at the heart of this generational shift.
It's just crazy, CeCe brings so much to the WNBA, bro. The game, her skill set, let alone. But her willpower, she stays fighting, you know what I'm saying? No matter how many times people done tried to bring her down mentally and physically. Y'all see what I see. You know what I'm saying?
The WNBA has entered a new era, one where Aja Wilson's dynasty is a memory, and Caitlin Clark's reign has just begun. The empire has fallen, the empress has been dethroned, and the former queen of the league must now navigate a changed landscape. Wilson is at a career crossroads, facing choices that will define her legacy. Will she adapt, embracing a new role as a veteran leader and finding grace in passing the torch? Or will she continue to fight against the inevitable, remembered as a great champion who struggled to accept that every reign, no matter how glorious, must eventually come to an end?